from the Church of Pentecost, and we were talking about challenges raising teenagers. Okay. And one of the challenges we mentioned was their driving. Here at the age of 16, all the kids, they wanted to drive. And we were talking about the fact that they will be joining their friends, sitting in their friend's car. But he made a very important point that driving could also be as a reward.
Yes.
Like when they are getting a good grade, we can also use that as a reward for them. And I was like, I wasn't even thinking. I'm just concerned about them sitting in the car, driving recklessly and all this accident going. But it was a wake-up call for me to know that even it could be a reward for them instead of me thinking that it will not be a good thing. And you also mentioned, you also agreed to that, right?
Yes, it helps to make the kids responsible. It gives them a sense of responsibility to take care of their car, take care of themselves, their family. As a mother, you can give them little tasks and responsibility to do around for you, run your errands, to go to the store,
go
to school. So it is a good thing if you talk to your kid and you
have to give them rules.
Yes.
Yeah, to follow. Yes. Last night they could go to the grocery shop for you instead of you going.
Yeah, and pick up the younger ones if they have younger siblings.
Take them to sports.
Yes, and those are things will help you to have more time to take care of yourself in the home.
Yeah, we talk about social media, we talk about the addressing, but hopefully they will be coming back and then we'll touch on the early warning signs. The signs that when you look at it, you know that no, my daughter or my son is going down. I read a book and they were talking about when you see them isolating themselves, that's an early warning sign. Either they are being bullied at school, they might not be able to tell you, or she's not really socializing, there's something that she's not comfortable with, and you see them isolating themselves in the room alone. Because of most of these kids that they cause or they go out, kill people, the school and all that, you realize that they've been alone. They don't make friends. They are not the ones that goes out and make friends, but they are always to themselves in the room and they are planning and you have no idea what they are doing. So some people say those are the early signs. When you see that your daughter or your son is behaving that way, then as a mother, you have to come in and help them.
A lot of parents don't talk to their kids. If you talk to your kids and you build a relationship with them, you give them the opportunity to vent out whatever concerns they have. In America, people are so busy. They stay in the room. When they come from work, they stay in their room. The kids stay in their room and they microwave their food. So everything is in the freezer. You go and get it out of the freezer, pop in the microwave, and give it to your kids to eat. So you're not spending family time having dinner, sitting around the tables, talking about things that happen during your work day.
Yes, it's true.
That helps to open up the children's mind.
See what is going on in their mind.
And that's why these things are happening. And for our culture, we have lots of people always around. They have a lot of uncles and aunties that they can talk to. So hopefully we need to just continue to have a conversation.
Yeah, that was a good. We'll have him back, and then hopefully we'll be able to answer more questions to our viewers. Well, I also had the chance of, we'll be doing the turkey drive come November 21st.
Okay.
Yeah. And I had the pleasure of meeting Dr. Fiona, and the First Choice Chiropractor. I met Pastor Alex, Imprim Holistic Resource, I think is part of them. And then I also met Miss Yolanda Owens from Ohio Food Bank and TV Africa Network. These are partners that have come together, and we're doing the turkey drive come November 21st. The target is to reach as many as 500 families, the less fortunate who might not be able to afford the turkey on a Thanksgiving Day. How nice will it be to help a family? At least at Thanksgiving, everybody must have at least a turkey, a turkey on their plate. So we'll be coming together to raise, individually they are raising funds and to do the turkey drive come November 21st. It will be on the Car Road. So we have a website, www.15dollarperfamily.com. If there is any way you could help, we encourage you to go there and then put in your donation. I had a chance of talking to them, so let's watch a clip from the interview.
Now, since 2007, treating virtually thousands of patients for work-related injuries and motor vehicle crashes. We met Pastor Alex a number of years ago, and he was just getting involved in his project, and we've been involved. This is our second year of being involved.
All right, Pastor Alex.
My name is Reverend Alex Erica Brokwa-Clady, the founder and leader of In His Presence Ministries International, and also the director of Imprim Holistic Community Resource Center, a community resource center that is aimed at meeting the individual needs of the community. We provide clothing, food, furniture. We also have a monthly health screening, and we also do after-school program. We want to meet the community at every point of their need, and we are partnering with other agencies to serve the community on the north end of Columbus.
And I'm Yolanda Owens, Communications and Digital Media Manager at Mid-Ohio Food Bank. And what we do is we work with agencies very similar to In His Presence Ministries and about 650 different other partners in central and eastern Ohio across 20 counties to be able to help them make sure that we can put food on everyone's table, especially during the holiday season.
All right, so today we'll be talking about Turkey Drive. So the question will be, why Turkey Drive?
Last year, we had the vision of feeding the community because on Thanksgiving Day, most people don't really have enough. Talking about turkey. Now, we've been noticing in our produce market that most families that do come to the produce market, which the numbers have grown tremendously from last year, end up not having turkey during Thanksgiving. And it drove us last year to give out some turkeys to families that were not able to afford. And we served about 87 families with full frozen turkeys, about 14 to 16 pounds. And the encouragement and the atmosphere that was received has really motivated us to go further this year.
Okay. So what would you say? How many families would you think goes without Thanksgiving, Turkey Thanksgiving Day?
Well, we know that here in Central Ohio, about 1 in 6 Ohioans are struggling with hunger, and that's 1 in 4 kids. And so what we believe at Mid-Ohio Food Bank is that everyone deserves to be able to have good food, good nourishing food to eat. And so we do these produce markets, and then being able to have things like turkey and those proteins are something that's really important to a diet anyway. But why not be able to have the opportunity to gather around that family meal for Thanksgiving?
Okay, so Dr. Fona, what made you join the group this time?
You know, it stemmed back to this gentleman here coming into my office and approaching me about some things that I could do for the community. Being in the community, I got to know the people in the community, and by virtue of that, my concerns were obviously deep, and he expressed and gave me information that was very important. And my group, my staff, and the people that I'm affiliated with decided to begin this process with him and his organization, and they're just a terrific organization, to give a little back to the community.
Oh, that's nice. So, where will be the location for this Turkey Drive?
It is going to be at 5757 Carl Road, Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah, so if for any reason you might not be able to afford the turkey on the Thanksgiving, don't be home. You can always come to Imprim Holistic and we'll be glad to serve you. We are still collecting funds, $15 per family. You can go to the website www.15forfamily.com and please give us your $50 per family. Today we will be we have a pleasure of having a sweet lady in the studio with an autoimmune disorder, lupus. I've heard it, but I've never had a chance of seeing somebody really going through. But today she's here with the studio and we'll be talking about lupus. So we're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll be joined by our guest. So stay tuned.
Furniture and Mattress, we know that less than perfect credit doesn't mean that you should have less than perfect furniture. That's why we're happy to offer no credit check financing. Get the furniture and mattresses you need now. All you need is $25 in your checking account. It's back to school time. Bunk beds from $149. Inner Spring twin mattresses from just $79. Queen pillow top mattress sets from $199. We have what you need to make your house a home, all with no credit check financing. Payless Furniture and Mattress. Why pay more when you can pay less?
Visit Furniture One for guaranteed low prices on quality brand name furniture. We carry a wide selection of bedroom, living room, and dining room furniture from the best brands in the industry. Need help with financing? We offer 6 months and 12 months same as cash programs. No credit check financing is also available. Count on us for great prices, great customer service, and fast and friendly delivery. Visit us at 3939 Cleveland Avenue, Columbus, Ohio, or call us at 614-478-9000. You can also visit our website at www.furnitureoneohio.com. Make your house a home at Furniture One Home Furnishings. Are you paying too much for your car insurance? Does your insurance rate keep going up when you filed no claim? Call Pri Value Insurance Group at 614-388-9989 or visit www.privalueinsurance.com. At Pri Value Insurance Group, we have access to over 20 insurance companies. We compare rates with some top insurance companies, and you decide which company best suits your needs. Call right now. An agent is waiting to answer your call. Rates as low as $45 per month. Call us at 614-388-9989 or visit any one of our 2 convenient locations. On the north side at 1496 Morse Road, Columbus, Ohio, or in Bexley at 3485 East Broad Street, Columbus, Ohio. Are you
Visit Saraga International Grocery and check out our halal meat department for great prices on top quality goat meat, lamb meat, chicken, and other meat products. Our courteous staff is ready to help you with any custom orders. And check out the rest of the store for great savings. We're also running specials on potato leaves at $2.99 a pound, Indian head cornmeal for $2.99 each, and fufu, 2 for $5. For quality products and great prices, visit our Saraga International Grocery at 1265 Morse Road, Columbus, Ohio.
Hi, my name is Eugene Osebwating, host of Co-Startup on TV Africa Network.
TV Africa Network app is at the App Store, so go and get your own.
At Furnitureland, we have a great selection of top quality furniture at incredibly low prices. Save big on living room furniture from $599 and sectionals from $999. No credit, no problem. We offer no credit check financing with 90 days same as cash. Stop in today at 1395 Morse Road, Columbus, Ohio. Call us at 614-447-8505 or visit us at FurniturelandOhio.com. Let Furnitureland on Morse Road help you make your house a home.
Thank you for tuning in today. One of the things that I wanted to talk with you about is the incredible humbling spirit that has been generated through our campaign and conversation with the greater Columbus community. I am honored to have the support and endorsement of the African diaspora, representing countries throughout the wonderful continent of Africa. You know, the United States and Columbus in particular has such a very special history and connection to the amazing and wonderful people of Africa. And to have the African diaspora support of my candidacy for mayor is a very significant show of support of a very important constituency in our great city. Friends, we've been reaching out to those in the LGBT community, the Latino community, the African American community, and our city is a city that is destined for greatness. It's a city that welcomes folks from all over the state, the country, and the world. And we can't meet our full potential until everyone in this city feels safe, welcome, and that they have opportunities to grow and for their families to prosper.
Hello and welcome back to Women of Essence. Today I have with me in the studio a young lady that goes by the name Sweetness Danso. She is a Ghanaian by birth. She's visiting with us in the United States. She had a first degree in crop science at the University of Ghana, Legon, and then she has a master's in communication service. As at now, she's a communication consultant. That's what she's been doing. She's happily married and she's been blessed with a 16-year-old baby boy. Sweetness Danso, welcome to Women of Essence.
16 months.
You.
16 months, yeah. A 16-month handsome boy.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Welcome, Sweetness. How
Thank
are you?
I'm blessed.
Thank
by
you for
God's
being
grace.
here. Thank you for being here.
Thank you too.
We've heard about autoimmune disorders. The one you had, what was the name again?
That is lupus.
Lupus.
Its full name is SLE, systemic lupus erythematosus.
Okay,
But
it's two kinds, right? The DLS, I think there's one DLS and then we have the SSC.
the SLE, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how long have you had this, or how did it started? What would you say?
I started having the symptoms in 2007, the latter part of 2007. And we were not exactly sure what it was because the first medical professionals I contacted in the States said it was carpal tunnel syndrome. However, when I went back home and I went through other health crises, we found out that it was related to an autoimmune disorder. So even though it was not specified that it was SLE, I was being treated along the lines of having a mixed connective tissue disorder.
Wow, so that means you were misdiagnosed, right?
Yes, initially.
So, yeah. So at what point did they really diagnose you with the lupus?
Well, it was last year that the doctors specified that it was lupus.
Whoa, after all these
But
years.
all through the years, what I was told was you have a mixed connective tissue disorder.
So how many doctors did you go to?
I saw doctors in the state, I saw doctors in my country, Ghana, and I saw doctors in the UK.
And nobody could tell
you, yeah,
what was going on.
The first doctors I saw in the state were the ones that told me it was carpal tunnel syndrome, but subsequent follow-ups were the ones in Ghana and in UK said it was a mixed connective tissue disorder, which is all autoimmune. So the final doctors that confirmed that it was lupus was in the States again.
Oh, again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, that's how it happened. So yes, I got the confirmation that it was lupus in the States.
That would be scary, right?
So when all of this started, how old were you?
I was 23 years then. I had just finished the university with all my aspirations and
Getting a job.
I was excited. I wanted to get a little cute car to do my national service and then, proceed to do my master's and lecture and do a whole lot of things. I was quite ambitious because I'm naturally an adventurous person. I like to explore. So yes, that's what I was up to. And so I came to the United States on a student's exchange program, and I was excited I was going to do this. And then I started having these pains in my joints and my feet. I was also confused. Oftentimes my friends will have to call my manager that I'm sick. And I remember one thing that I have never forgotten because they used to laugh at me with, they called the manager, he was called Tom. They said, Tom, we're calling to say that she can't be at work today because she's not feeling all right. And then all he goes like, tell her she's been awfully sick a lot.
You've been missing a lot of work.
He didn't understand.
Because to him, me calling off work that often was a bother, because the more he gives people overtime, the more he has to pay. I'm supposed to be there to do my hours.
Oh, okay. So, that was
So he
costing
doesn't
them-
have to pay overtime.
Yeah.
So,
That was costing
and my
them
friends
money.
used to tease me, you'll be awfully sick a lot. You know, they were saying it on the lighter side, but it did affect me, because then my goal of working to make all that money as a young girl to enjoy my new financial freedom was not being realized. Yes.
So those who don't know anything about lupus, can you tell us some of the symptoms that occur in the process before being diagnosed? That somebody woke up in the morning and they have pain somewhere. What are some of the symptoms?
Okay. Interestingly, with all the autoimmune diseases that disorders that we have, SLE has almost symptoms that are common to a lot of the other disorders. So initially, it's not easy to diagnose. Some of the symptoms that I have experienced over the years include swollen joints, and especially in your wrist and your fingers and your feet.
Oh, that's why they said it's kappa. Because
Yes. And then I have had all kinds of ulcers and sores on my face. At a point, I felt I could understand Job in the Bible, because my body was producing sores. And so I decided to read the book of Job to console myself. And there's been times that everything just burns in your mouth, you know. Even toothpaste, even water burns in your mouth. And I could not even open my mouth wide enough to put in like a small piece of banana. I had to actually hold the banana on the side and nibble on it, because I couldn't open my mouth wide enough. There are times that my palms turned as black as my hair. And I remember one time we visited a friend of my mother, and when I greeted her, she didn't know I was sick, because I was too embarrassed about the whole situation. I didn't want people to know that's what I was going through. Yes, I knew people were speculating about me because they could see physically the changes in me, but they didn't have enough boldness to confront me, and I wasn't also going to tell them anything either. So she said, "Wow, God is amazing. See how black your palms are."
Oh, come on.
Yeah, she thought she was complimenting me, or maybe she had seen something unique, but I just looked at my mom's face and we just decided to keep quiet. We didn't want her to feel bad because she didn't know what it was. I've lost a lot of hair because there was a time that I was just losing hair. There were times that I had itches that were unbearable. You just itch till you want to scratch your skin off, you know. It's all kinds of ridiculous situations. There are times that I couldn't sleep either way. I just have to sit in bed all night long, because if you lie on the left, you feel like your heart is falling out. On the right, it feels like it's falling out. You just don't know which position to to lie in. And so you just have to go through all the nights sitting in bed and just screaming Jesus and crying until you manage to catch a little bit of sleep or whatever. So, yeah, and I've had vasculitis, which is clotting of the blood. I had the vasculitis right beneath my skin, so my blood was clotting right beneath my skin. Yes, and so many other horrific examples that I have had to endure by God's
that's
grace.
a lot for one person to go through.
Yeah.
Sorry for all that. Well, but what would you say? Are there any treatment out there?
Yes. One bad news is there's no cure. Because first of all, they said to be able to answer a question, you need to understand, and they don't understand what causes it. So there's no way they can find a cure, but there's ongoing research, and definitely in the West, it's more advanced than in developing countries like where I come from in Ghana, because a lot of people die without, and what they say is cause of death not known. But recently, I have met a couple of people that have been diagnosed with lupus in Ghana. So we are making slow progress. But there are treatments. There are treatments that you can go through to put the condition in remission. Remission basically is when the disease is controlled so that you can live a normal life. Because if every day of your life you can't even pick a toothbrush to brush your teeth, or you can't even scratch yourself when you're itching, it's depressing. I was in church once and all I was desiring was to be able to clap my hands.
Oh, and you couldn't?
And I could not clap my hands. It was too weak to lift and put together. And I was just crying and watching people. So when I go to church and I have the energy, I clap like I lost my mind, because I don't really care what the next person thinks of me. They don't know what it means to me to be able to put my two hands together, you know. So I'd like to say that when the disease is active, the medications are really expensive. Even though they are there, people are still dying from it because they can't afford, especially in developing countries. You can't just afford it, and the doctors will not even bother prescribing it for you because they know you can't afford it anyway.
So that means you have to live with it.
No, that means you have to die after you've suffered. Yes, unfortunately. But there are generic steroids. Steroids are necessary evils for people with lupus because they have very bad side effects, but that's what can help you quick too. So then they just put you on the steroids to help bring it down. And it is your personal responsibility to also ensure that you adjust your lifestyle in a way that do not stir up certain basic things. You don't know exactly what causes it, but you just try to adjust. Watch your diet, have to exercise, have to let go of things that stress you. I remember once I went to one of these health centers that they do all these tests in your hands, and when the final results came out, the doctor asked me, what has been making you angry? Because your anger charge is high, very high. And I said I'll work on it. I was angry, yes I was, because I did not understand everything that was happening to me. I was stressed out. I felt like I was losing a lot in life, a lot. The sickness was stealing so much from me. I was seeing my colleagues advancing, and here I was. When I'm out, I look okay, so they think, yes, everything is fine with me. And because I tend to be a little bit of an extrovert, I know quite a lot of people, and they seem to be interested in my business, you know. So it was hard for me. Here I was, people wanting to know about what you're up to, and you trying to hide what you're going through. Yes. So I was angry, I was bitter. I just didn't understand what was happening to me. And it didn't only affect me, it affected those around me. It affected my spirituality in ways that I would say have all in all contributed to making me a better person, even though going through was no fun.
Okay, we'll go in. Stay tuned. We're going to be right back, and then we'll finish up talking to Sweetness and hearing her strength and her weakness and those that have impacted her to be strong, to hold on through all of this. Stay tuned.
Hello, my name is Erica Hawkins, co-host of Women of Essence on TV Africa Network.
My name is Marian Harris Mingo, co-host of Women of Essence.
Veronica Houghton-Beku is my name, co-host of Women of Essence on TV African Network.
My background, I am a woman of essence from Columbus, Ohio, an African-American, proud and born, child of 3 children. I am the only daughter, very happy and proud to be born here in Ohio.
My background is I was born in Nima County, Liberia, West Africa. I'm the 5 or 9 siblings. I come from a very big family, and I'm married with 2 children.
I'm a Ghanaian by birth. I'm the 4th of 6 children on my mother's side, and from my father's side, I have 14 siblings.
A few things you wouldn't know just by looking at me. I have a passion for adventure, from skydiving to Senegalese African dance.
What people would not know by looking at me, I am compassionate, I'm caring, and I'm a person who is willing to help anyone that is in need.
What people will not know by looking at me, I believe in big dreams, and I believe time and chance happens to everybody. I like to keep hope alive, very optimistic, and allow God to take care of the rest.
What you can expect from Women of Essence, we're going to be focusing on empowering, educating, and informing all women of backgrounds and cultures. We're going to be starting from the past, present, and future. Join us.
What people should expect from Women of Essence, the show, is that we're going to educate, we are going to inform, and we are going to empower women. We're going to talk about women issues from the past, the future, and the present. We're going to deal with all issues that concern women all over the world.
Women of Essence is designed to empower, encourage, and educate women from all walks of life to fulfill their role in the community. Hello and welcome back. We've been talking to Sweetness Danso with an autoimmune disorder, and we've been talking about the treatment, the cost involved in treating this autoimmune disorder. You've mentioned the medication and then steroid. So how expensive are the medication?
They vary depending on the symptoms that you have. For instance, with the steroid, which is prednisone, basically, they are generic types, which are quite okay. I get like maybe 1 milligram of prednisone for 30 days for like $17.50.
Okay.
And I get 400 milligrams of Plaquenil, which is also called hydroxychloroquine, for $65.50 for 30 days.
Oh, okay.
Then there is Cellcept, which is mycophenolate mofetil, which costs almost $500.
Whoa.
Yes. And then there is another one called Maptera, which is also for high, like really serious conditions, which runs into thousands of dollars.
Ooh.
And for instance, when I had my blood clotting issue, I had to be on blood thinners, and that was also costing thousands of dollars. So after a period, after some months, I was gradually put on warfarin, which is much, much cheaper. But even to be able to take warfarin is dependent on your condition, because at the condition that I was having initially, there was no way I could be on warfarin. So I had to be on the shots. So yes, it depends on which brand you're using and also the dosage you're using when my condition was really under control, even as a last year, I was buying medication around 6,000 Ghana cedis in my currency. So
that's a lot.
That's a lot of money. Yeah.
was a lot, and I could not have made it without love from family and friends and all loved ones. Yes.
And considering back home in Africa, where you're coming from.
Yes, if you don't have money, you will die, because when you go to the pharmacy and you even having the national health card and you give them the prescription, they will look at what kind of medicine it is and tell you it's out of stock. But when you go outside and you bring the cash with a prescription, they will give you the medicine. Yes.
Wow.
They could tell right from your face that you can't afford.
No, it doesn't matter. You can be cutely dressed, but so long as you are holding that health card, they will tell you they don't have it.
So what is the national?
The health card?
Is the insurance card?
Yes, it's the insurance card.
Oh, that one is being paid by the government.
Yes.
That's why they tell you they don't have. But if you have from your pocket,
they want their
money.
fast money.
Okay, so they prefer
So,
cash.
Yeah.
so yes, that's
The one
what
they
it
sell the
is.
drug to you.
Yes.
Wow. So how has it affected your family, your mom, your dad, and friends around you?
Well, I would like to start with my husband because he's been a big blessing to me.
Yeah.
I don't know how my story would have been without him. He knew my condition before we got married.
Wow.
And he stayed. He didn't run away. He stayed. He supported me. I didn't know whether he was going to marry me or not, but
You weren't sure yourself?
yes, but he stayed, and in my culture, as it is in most parts of the world, the woman is expected to do a lot of the domestic activities, but
That's true.
he does most of the domestic activities
Oh, you are blessed.
in the house. And when I'm weak, he does everything for me, everything, including bathing and everything. And he's naturally a quiet person, doesn't talk much. And so people always wonder, how's your husband faring? He never complains. I remember once my scalp was itching so badly, and I asked him to scratch it for me, and because he was not the one feeling it, he was scratching the wrong part, and I was so mad. He was yelling at him, "No, scratch the other side." He was trying to calm me down, but and sometimes I can't help but just cry, and I see that when I cry a lot, it bothers him because he doesn't know what else to do. But he's been very supportive and very caring, and I thank God for his life.
Yes, you have to. So has there been time that he has to call off work because of your sickness?
Yes, he has had to take some leaves, and running up and down, taking me to hospital and all those kind of things, going to take me to the lab, getting my lab tests, going to the blood bank, doing this, doing that. Yes, he's lost a lot. And also because I had to stay away from work, we were using all of his income, getting medications and all that. Yes. And aside from my husband, I will thank God for the life of my parents because they have been strong pillars in times that I would have given up. Yes, and I know my mother intercedes a lot. My mother is an intercessor, and she intercedes a lot, organizing prayers for me and all that. One thing though is she's not a person that runs to different places. She just believes in what she believes in, knows that God is right with her, and she stays. And so even though she was under pressure from friends to take me to different places, different churches, she refused, and I'm still alive, and I thank God for her. I thank God for my siblings. I thank God for my uncle and auntie. Dr. and Mrs. Orjan, who have been an immense blessing to me, because at the point in my life where I was at the point of giving up, because I didn't know what else the future had, God brought them to be able to carry me to the next level. And they have made immense sacrifices for me, which I will eternally be grateful and always ask God to bless them and the entire family. I would also want to thank my professor at my master's level. She's called Professor Audrey Gajepo. She's a communications professor, because without her intervention, by the grace of God, I would not have even been able to complete my master's degree.
Wow.
She believed that there was something good in me. And when I come for lectures, I will be okay. When I go home, I'm back to my hall of residence, I'll be so down. I can't do my assignments. I can't do anything. But other lecturers would have doubted if I told them I was sick. But she believed me. And even on campus, she will make her housekeeper cook and bring it to me.
Wow.
Yes, porridge, soups. And eventually, she asked me to move into her house.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know which lecturer would ask her students to come and live with her. And when I was well, we could stay in her bedroom up to 1 a.m. working on my project work, taking me through.
Wow.
Because she doesn't know when next I was going to go week.
Okay.
And she's a person that travels a lot. So with all the little times that she had, she invested so much into me. And I actually lived in her house till I got married.
Really? Even after you finished school, you were still living in the house?
Even when I started working, I was still living with her on campus. I mean, she is a mother to me. So
She's single?
She's not available. Yes. So yes, she's been an immense blessing to me. I also want to thank my former CEO. She's called Miss Esther Koba. She's the head of the Stratcom Africa Group, because right from school, with no experience, she offered me employment. Wow. Whereas her HR had tons and tons of applications. I hadn't written any application letter. I only went to do an internship as part of my master's requirement, and they called me back to come and work.
Maybe you did a good job once you were there.
That's the favor of God.
Yeah.
Yes.
So have you ever been hospitalized, or has there been a time where they have to hospitalize you for 3 months, 6 months being in the hospital?
I have gone in and out of the hospital, sometimes for maybe 2 weeks, but not that long, because I don't like to stay in the hospital. I would rather be at home.
Okay, we're going to be back, and stay tuned. We're going to be back with Sweetness, and we'll talk more about what's going on. Stay tuned.
Hello, my name is Erica Hawkins, co-host of Women of Essence on TV Africa Network.
My name is Marian Harris Mingo, co-host of Women of Essence.
Veronica Houghton-Berku is my name, co-host of Women of Essence on TV African Network.
My background, I am a woman of essence from Columbus, Ohio, an African-American, proud and born, child of 3 children. I am the only daughter, very happy and proud to be born here in Ohio.
My background is I was born in Nima County, Liberia, West Africa. I'm the 5 or 9 siblings. I come from a very big family, and I'm married with 2 children.
I'm a Ghanaian by birth. I'm the 4th of 6 children on my mother's side, and from my father's side, I have 14 siblings.
A few things you wouldn't know just by looking at me. I have a passion for adventure, from skydiving to Senegalese African dance.
What people will not know by looking at me, I am compassionate, I'm caring, and I'm a person who is willing to help anyone that is in need.
What people will not know by looking at me, I believe in big dreams, and I believe time and chance happens to everybody. I like to keep hope alive, very optimistic, and allow God to take care of the rest.
What you can expect from Women of Essence, we're going to be focusing on empowering, educating, and informing all women of backgrounds and cultures. We're going to be starting from the past, present, and future. Join us.
What people should expect from Women of Essence, the show, is that we're going to educate, we are going to inform, and we are going to empower women. We want to talk about women issues from the past, the future, and the present. We're going to deal with all issues that concern women all over the world.
Women of Essence is designed to empower, encourage, and educate women from all walks of life to fulfill their role in the community. Hello and welcome back to Women of Essence. We're still talking to Sweetness Danso, and we've been talking about how it has affected their life, the family. The husband has been play a major role in your recovery, and also your lecture at the university did a very, very good job to host somebody and make sure you get all your thesis and then you pass your exams and get your master. That's a lot. It's not every lecture that will go through that.
Yeah. She must have been a very good student.
Well, and they didn't want her to go
She's a loving
waste
person.
saying,
That's her nature.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
So has there been a turning point in your life?
Yes, there have been significant turning points in my life, and I would like to say the birth of my son is one major turning point in my life. When learning about autoimmune diseases, I was advised that getting pregnant could be very risky because here is a condition that your body is fighting itself even when there's no external thing introduced into you. So by having a baby forming in you, your immune system is just going to attack that clot of blood and kill it. And in the process, you might also end up losing your life. So I had the option to play it safe and just adopt, or risk and get pregnant and see whether I'll make it or not. But I did have encouragement from my doctor though. She said it is risky, but it is possible. God can do everything. And so she said, if you want to get pregnant, hurry up and get pregnant. But I was still hesitant, so I was playing it safe. But what God did was, I got pregnant and I did not even know I had gotten pregnant for 3.5 months.
Wow.
I was just living my normal life, not knowing that there was a baby growing in me. And I woke up one morning and I could not stand up straight. I had this intense pain on my lower side, and I was rushed to the emergency, and I was told that you have fibroid and you are also pregnant.
Oh.
But we can't do anything about the fibroid because of the baby which is developing. That was scary for me with all the information that I knew that I would be endangering myself in this situation. So, well, I went back home, and interestingly, on that same day, on the 21st of December, when I was told that, I had a call from Ghana that a friend of mine who I actually was her maid of honor had passed away that very day. And that saddened me a lot. And I said, God, I could have been in her position. How come I have been spared? You know, that is even something to be thankful of.
What did she die of?
Well, she had had a cesarean.
Okay.
She had had 3 cesareans, and with this last one, I think she was just having a lot of marital challenges, and so with all the stress and the thinking and not really, I don't know whether she was not following her medications or what, but it's a whole lot of stress can kill you quicker than the sickness itself.
And pregnancy.
So I'm sure that is what caused her sickness. Yes.
Yes, so rest in
So
peace.
yes. So with all that, what I did was, my mom told me to take communion every day, and at such points you wish you were close to your mother so you can hug her, but here I was far away from home. And and so she said, God is with you wherever you are. We are praying for you. Take communion every day and speak to it. It has ears. It has to hear you. So every day I'll take my communion and I'll anoint my stomach, and I say, fibroid, wither and die in the name of Jesus. Fibroid, I spoke to it every time until I never heard of it again. All through my pregnancy, through the scans, I did not hear of it again. But then the next thing that started was the blood clotting. And that scared me a lot, because here is blood forming within me into a human being, and then the blood started clotting. And when it clots, it darkens, like, when you get a burn, and then it will blister and start developing into sores.
Oh, so
and
you
then,
really see the blisters on your skin?
Oh yes. You see the black mark on your skin, and the next thing it will blister, and then you see your skin, you watch your skin being eaten up into sores and big wounds, and the process is extremely painful. And I was on oxycodone until it could not work anymore.
So you were having this whilst you were still pregnant?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I was going through that whilst I was still pregnant.
Oh, wow.
And that's why I had to be on the injection blood thinner, because I could not take the pills because of the baby.
Yeah.
So I had to be injecting my long stomach every morning and evening, one on the left, one on the right, and taking all these pills. However, because of the baby, I couldn't also be put on strong medication that could help my condition.
Oh, okay.
So they were being very careful. Everything had to be in consultation with the OB and high-risk doctors.
Oh, okay.
And that meant that I had to endure more suffering for the sake of the baby.
Yeah, because when you're pregnant, they can't give you that much.
Yes, but all through all, we were hoping that I will make it to
the 9 months,
the 37 weeks, so the baby can be taken out and I can be put on stronger medication. And by the grace of God, we made it, and my baby was delivered safely. And by his birth, it proved to me that it doesn't matter what medical science says to you or what people say to you, if only we can trust God. And I know that trusting God is not easy, especially when you're going through the frustrations, when you're going through the pain, when you are trying to believe and people are making you think you're being stupid. Why won't you do this? I called a friend of mine, a doctor, and then I told him I was pregnant. The first thing he told me is, "You are crazy. If you were my wife, I wouldn't allow you to get pregnant in the first place." But I thank God that He made me a mother, which I am proud of, and I thank Him so much that He gave me the grace to go through that.
I wouldn't say that the doctors, not that they don't believe, because my friend, there's a lady I work with at my office, the sister has lupus, and she's not married, because she doesn't even want to try. But in your case, it might be a miracle, because they know the severity of it. I mean, a lot of people go that and they don't make it, so yours has to be a miracle. So not that the doctors don't trust, or because what they've been seeing at the hospital, that's what they go by. But God always does the impossible, so that was a miracle for you.
Yes, not only that, and the doctors, but the thing is, you have gotten strong. You're taking care of a young baby. You're walking around. You're taking him to the playground. You're doing your day-to-day responsibility. That's the blessing of it all. That you have gotten your strength back.
Yes, and I will say that at the time that I delivered my son, as light as he was, I could not even pick him up to feed him. First of all, I couldn't breastfeed because I was on too many medications, And even with the bottle, just to cuddle him, I was just too sick. And so at dawn, when he wakes up, I would have to go and knock on my auntie's door and say, "Auntie, the baby's up." And then she will come and feed him twice in the night. So sacrificing her sleep and all that. And sometimes I would just cry. And I remember one time I was in the room and all I just kept saying to myself was, I'm tired. I just wanted to give up. I kept on saying I'm tired until I felt this heaviness on me. And then some way, somehow, by God's grace, I just said, in the name of Jesus, I'm not tired. Till I felt relieved.
Yes.
And when you're in pain and also you hear a baby crying, it irritates you.
Yes.
And when you go to the hospital, they give you all these long questionnaires about, have you cried because of your baby? Is your baby this? Is your baby this? And I'm saying, so what if I take years and they come and take my baby from me?
Oh, okay.
But with all that, I will say that it was challenging, but it's been worth the experience of having my baby.
Okay.
I've gone through the psychological traumas and all that. Spiritual trauma also, because different people are telling you different things. One time somebody said, this thing is spiritual. It is not a medical issue. It is people from your father's family trying to destroy your life. And then a different person says, it is people from your mother's family trying to destroy your life. And then a different person says they have formed an alliance.
You've heard
So I wasn't actually sure. So there were times that even though I knew I had to take my medications, I was just too confused, and I said, I won't take the medications. And then I'll have a relapse and get into a really bad situation again, and they'll tell me, look, God can work his way the way he wants it. If it's through this medicine that he wants to heal you, you have to just take it and don't tell him how to heal you. So just play along and do what you have to do. And another significant thing also is that through the sickness, I have gotten to know other people who are suffering from lupus, and people that have lost their lives, because just in June and in September, I have witnessed 2 teenage girls die of lupus in Ghana. The last one was buried last Thursday. Hers, I would say, the one who died last Thursday, I would say is basically because of lack of counseling, knowledge. The Bible says, for lack of knowledge, my people perish.
Yes.
She was diagnosed somewhere in June, somewhere in May, and her parents refused to take her to follow the medical treatment, even with the cheap medical treatment they could offer her, because they believed it was due to a curse. And so I received a call from the doctor to talk to her mother, because he had told her about me and how I was fighting on to live despite all my challenges. So I spoke to her and I told her, look, it is depressing to watch your child go through that, but it's not the end of the world.
Yes,
we have to fight to live and be encouragement to other people. She said, okay. I said, can I talk to your daughter? She said, no, I don't want to scare her. Don't talk to her. I'll tell her everything you have said. I said, all right. And I only got to know yesterday that she took the girl off and started taking her from one fetish to the other. And the girl finally died at a prayer camp and was buried last Thursday. The other girl that died, she was also a high school student, and she was on admission at the hospital in Accra. And I spoke to the rheumatologist, and she said there's this young girl here who is really sick, but her family cannot afford her medication. So with what I have been through, I've had this burning desire and passion on my heart to be a channel of God's love and his care to other people who may not be privileged enough to get the support that I have received from different sources. So I had this medication, Rituzan, which is also called Maptera, which had been donated to me, and I sent it to the doctor to see, can you use this medicine for me? She said, your condition is far better, so you don't need this unless you get into another crisis, so you can keep it in the fridge. I said, no, I'm not keeping it because I'm not going back there. She said, well, she told me about the girl, and I said, okay, I will donate it to her. So she got it, 2 vials. She got the first one. By the grace of God, she responded very well, and she was discharged. She came back a couple of months for the next one. She responded well, and I spoke to the doctor just about 2 months ago to check on her. The doctor said she had passed away because
they cannot afford.
She had another relapse, and they could not afford the medication, and that was indeed depressing for me.
Yes.
So that really brought my mind to the fact that I need to honor a promise I made to God way back in 2011 on my sick bed, that if you take me out alive, if you don't make me die, because it feels good to be alive. It feels good to be able to move your limbs. It feels good to be able to eat without struggling to swallow.
Right.
It feels good to be able to do things for yourself without being so dependent. It feels good to have your hands and feel like you're free and not feeling like you are tied up even though your hands are loose. So I promised God that I will set up a non-governmental organization, a non-profit that will basically educate people with this, not only the patient but the non-patients, people related to such people, so that they can understand and bear with them.
Yes.
And also with the people that are going through, so that they don't give up, because it is very easy to give up. You feel like the whole world has ended for you.
All right.
And especially because there is no cure.
Okay. We'll be taking a quick break, then we'll come back. We'll be talking about the foundation that we have raised to save people and create the awareness for all the lupus. So stay tuned.
Hello, my name is Erica Hawkins, co-host of Women of Essence on TV Africa Network.
My name is Marian Harris Mingo, co-host of Women of Essence.
Veronica Houghton-Berku is my name, co-host of Women of Essence on TV African Network.
My background, I am a woman of essence from Columbus, Ohio, an African-American, proud and born, child of 3 children. I am the only daughter, very happy and proud to be born here in Ohio.
My background is I was born in Nima County, Liberia, West Africa. I'm the 5 or 9 siblings. I come from a very big family, and I'm married with 2 children.
I'm a Ghanaian by birth. I'm the 4th of 6 children on my mother's side, and from my father's side, I have 14 siblings.
A few things you wouldn't know just by looking at me. I have a passion for adventure, from skydiving to Senegalese African dance.
What people will not know by looking at me, I am compassionate, I'm caring, and I'm a person who is willing to help anyone that is in need.
What people will not know by looking at me, I believe in big dreams, and I believe time and chance happens to everybody. I like to keep hope alive, very optimistic, and allow God to take care of the rest.
What you can expect from Women of Essence, we're going to be focusing on empowering, educating, and informing all women of backgrounds and cultures. We're going to be starting from the past, present, and future. Join us.
What people should expect from Women of Essence, the show, is that we're going to educate, we are going to inform, and we are going to empower women. We're going to talk about women issues from the past, the future, and the present. We're going to deal with all issues that concern women all over the world.
Women of Essence. Welcome to Women of Essence on TV African Network. So far we'll be talking to Sweetness Danso, the name she goes by, and treating the disease lupus. And some people think it might be spiritual instead of taking their kids to the hospital to get treatment. And we've lost 2 lives, at least 2 lives that has been lost because of that. So I know it will be a passion for you. You want to create awareness for people to know that it is, it cannot be cured, but at least the symptoms can be treated. Yeah, so you have to. So what else do you have for people to know that it's nothing spiritual, but then it is a sickness, and then if they give treatment to it, lives will not be lost?
Well, thank you very much. As I said earlier, I have started the process of establishing a non-profit organization, which is called Oyemam Foundation. Oyemam is an Akan word in Ghana, which denotes the concept of goodness. So if I want to say God is good to me, I can say Nyami Yemam, or I can say Oyemam. If I want to tell Veronica, you are good to me, I will tell Veronica Oyemam. So Oye is goodness, and Mam is me. So it's a concept. So Oyemam is it's good for me, he's good for me, whichever way you want to put it. And Oyemam Foundation is basically being established to inspire hope to live on. Because when you lose your hope, that's the end of you. It is said that there's nothing wrong with failing because it's only first attempt in learning. And if you know that is your first attempt in learning, you will keep on trying. If I try this way and it doesn't work, I'll do this. And with more knowledge through education, people will be able to understand it and give the right attention to the disease condition.
That's true.
And whereas you could take your medications and live longer, you will stop, like how the story of the girl I shared earlier turned out to be, and die. Assuming I had not been counseled enough to take my medication, I know I would have been rotten in the grave by now. I went through cycles of refusing to take medications because I was hearing all kinds of things. But thank God I took my medications after struggling so much. And Oyemam Foundation also seeks to fundraise to support needy people, like the other girl I shared about who died. And mind you, the other girl that died also, I think that because her parents did not have the money for the medication, they just decided not to even waste the little they had on the medication. So our focus will be on education, advocacy, awareness creation, and fundraising, and also have counselors to counsel the patients and the people related to them. And with all the psychological, the emotional, the spiritual things that people go through. And I have created a Facebook page for Oyemam Foundation. It just goes by the name Oyemam Foundation, which is OYEMAM Foundation, and would like people to just like Oyemam Foundation and get in touch with us to see how you can be a blessing to somebody, because no support to a person going through an autoimmune disorder is small. Every little support is much appreciated and can save a life.
Thank you. And you are a living witness of what it is to be alive.
Yeah.
So it is a pleasure having you. And people out there, you can see Sweetness and see what she has been through, and she's a living testimony.
Yeah. It is interesting to think that even people might think it's spiritual, whilst it could be treated. Yeah. And to go that long to lose a life because people think it's spiritual. But anyway, it was your faith that carries you. Yeah, it is your faith. I mean, some people, you could have just accepted that it's also spiritual and then decided not to do nothing about it.
Yes,
but
with terminal illness, you have to hold on to God, and with the belief in God, you see miracle happen.
Yeah. So and the people around you too, they make a lot of difference.
Yes, I would like to briefly thank Miss Julian Heathcote. She was a senior communications manager in my office, and this lady is so loving that sometimes she would buy medicines for me with her own money. Meanwhile, she may not necessarily even have in abundance, but she would buy it. She used to buy me Forever Living products, which are not any medical stuff, but just to boost my immunity.
Yes.
She used to support me, pick me up from work, home to work, and bring me back. She encouraging me, praying with me, crying with me when I'm crying at work. I would go into the conference room or into the restroom just to cry out, and she will be there to support me as a mother. And so many other people that I can't mention have been of immense support to me. My rheumatologist in Ghana, who has been a big blessing also to me. My church family, Christian Action Faith Ministries, my departmental pastor, Reverend Bani, and the whole team. They have been immense blessings to me. And I cannot mention all their names, but I always say God bless them every day that I breathe oxygen and I'm counted amongst the living. And God bless each and every one that has contributed to me being here today.
Wow. Thank you for being with us in the studio. For our viewers out there, we've been talking to Sweetness Than Soul for the autoimmune disorder called lupus. If there's anybody with that sickness, it cannot be cured, they say, but then it can be lowered. You can treat the symptoms. She's also trying to come up as a passion, to come up with a foundation to be able to reach out to other people that are going through that same suffering. Thank you for being with us today, and we look forward to seeing you some other time, not to talk about lupus, maybe what is happening in your life.
Yes. Some of the progress, those that have been healed from that disease.
Yeah.
We'll meet you again and we'll sit and talk about that.
Yes.
Thank you, and have a blessed and wonderful life. You are blessed and covered by the favor of God.
Amen.
Lift your head up and continue to believe in God.
Amen.
So stay tuned, and we'll be right back with you.
TVC News.